Okay, so on the last bit we discussed how there's still air in there, and I'm probably not going to get all of it out, but I am going to still do a little filming while I rock it back a little bit. Now I don't want to put this thing fully flat on its back because it does not have a glass panel on the other side, so that means the back of the motherboard is currently exposed. That's the glass panel that got broken shipping, so that one goes to UPS, I'm pretty sure. But I am going to tilt it a bit and try and get at least a little bit more air out of that. And then, if need be, what I can do is take the front panel, because as far as I know, it's exactly the same sizings and whatnot of the front panel, and we can put it on the back to protect the back and then put it flat on its back to do that. But that might actually wait for another day, pending if I get this phone call or not. I'd like some more confirmations from Digital Storm. It's now currently 3 o'clock, about an hour past. Apparently, he thought that I told him 1 o'clock. I was pretty sure I said 2 because I was going to eat at 1 and then I'd be ready. But I could be mistaken. He could be mistaken. It's better that I got a phone call at least at all, because apparently with the pandemic and things going crazy with a lot of people with called issues and whatnot, and probably their minimal staffing over at Digital Storm more so than usual, over the weekend and during a pandemic. Yeah, I didn't get those phone calls. I also didn't get a phone call another time. I forget what time that was. But that stuff happens. It's certainly of the least of my problems I've had. So let's try and tilt this a little bit. Now, there's a pretty solid. No, that's actually plastic. Let's not do that either. We want to have a good, solid, grip on the frame when we do this, because we do not want this thing to fall, drop, or fall. No. Who knows what UPS already did to this? So we don't want to add to that any further. But let's see if we can get. We see that we don't seem to have any leaks. That was the first thing. We want to get that cap on tight and make sure, not so tight that you can't do it, but yeah. Yeah, I'm going to have to do it a lot more than this, because I'm going to have to literally get it so that air comes to the front surface of that plastic, and that means I would have to really indeed put it on its back, if not slightly upside down, which I really hate the thought of, but yeah. Right now, trying to play things or benchmark or doing anything like that while that processor doesn't have like fluid over the entire thing. Put my hand there for demonstration. That's going to mean some really uneven cooling, and that means the top of that processor is probably going to start getting rather hot, and you don't want that. You really don't. As it is, in these radiators, you're probably going to actually have some air as an issue as well, but it's probably less of an issue as long as that fluid's still going through the radiators and the wind's passing through them. Well, the air pushed by fans, you know what I'm saying. That's pretty much what you really want to be worried about. But yeah, with that amount of air in that processor chamber, not good. As it is, we're probably going to also have to look underneath these GPUs, because in these chambers tend to have their own air bubbles sometimes as well. And over the process of use, as these GPUs get hot, that air bubble will actually increase in size, making for even less distribution of heat in those spots. In theory, it shouldn't matter that much, but in practice, I kind of feel it matters, and it's kind of something that's gotten by Digital Storm workers of an earlier generation with the first piece of equipment that I got. So anyways, yeah, I'd have to put another panel. As you can see, however, the pump is failing. If you're not sure whether the pumps are working or not, trying to feel for it with your fingers is a good way to go. It'll be a very slight vibration, but you will feel a little bit of something. The easiest way to tell is when the thing starts up and you get like bubbles rolling through. In some kind of cases, I kind of wish that they would slightly oxygenate the fluid, because granted, you would have those bubbles, but if you have more bubbles upon bubbles, they might actually start pushing things through. But that would come to a different generation of liquid cooling methods that will probably not be a thing for a very long time. it would probably mean chamber designs would have to change a little bit to make sure that these air bubbles would be pushed through all the better. Because currently the design kind of, I don't know, liquid cooling concepts, they still feel kind of basic to me. As it is, we're starting to fall into a generation of moving forward with consoles and whatnot, and they'll have something of a closed loop, but we're also looking at things like vapor cooling and stuff like that that has been talked about. And there's a new form of air cooling that's going to have a system where it's kind of like liquid cooling, and it cycles up chemical within. Some will say, oh, that already exists, that's the thing. No, it's slightly different. I forget the name of it right now. But there is a new generation of cooling, and that's going to be a thing. Right now, that new generation of cooling is like a huge thing. It's like a chunk of this. Imagine these two GPUs and about that size and hanging at the top of your PC. Yeah, that's what that new generation of cooling thing. But they say that they're looking to get that down by, I think they said 40% in size. But it's been a while since I heard or talked about that. So I don't know. We'll have to see what comes. For all we know, that's what's in the next generation Xbox. It would explain why we have that interesting looking cube tower thing. Because if they do cut that cooling unit down to that amount of size by about 40% or 60%, it was one of those, it would probably hang out at the top of that little new Xbox Series 1 that's along on its way. Sorry, my finger's in the shot. I know that's probably really annoying. So anyways, I'm going to stop there. I'm sorry if this one has showed a little less of an interesting progress, but this is also more for the sakes of as well Digital Storm and some more record keeping. So yeah, I'm going to probably eventually have to let me put this over here. See that? That's a bare back because of the broken panel I talked about. So what I'll do is I'll probably put the panel on the back, and that'll protect the back as I lay it down. Because let me tell you, a lot of people are saying like, oh, your concept that these static fields causing arc jumps and dry air and all. Don't lay your computer bare parts on the carpet. Don't do it. Just don't do it. I'm not learning from experience on that, but not when it comes to these PCs. But yeah, static is a real thing. These things hate machines. Machines hate static in ways that they're not meant to channel, and a lot of times when they're designed, they don't even think of that. But as such, yeah. So we're going to want to put that glass panel back on at the very least. Let me think if there's anything else I'm forgetting. I want to try and keep this under 10 minutes. Because I'm deleting these videos one by one because the phone is apparently low on information. But yeah, that's probably going to be my next move. Or I could just wait for another panel to come through. But I kind of want to see if this thing even works before worrying about the shipping and whatnot for the replacement panel. But, well, we'll see what happens, because it's been a long telling thing that I have yet to have one of these machines show up without problems. And granted, the one problem is obvious of a broken panel, but that one's UPS this time. And it'd be kind of interesting to see if something shipped from Digital Storm and actually had no issues with it for a change. That would be awesome. Because let me tell you, over this past few years, that's kind of not been how it's rolled. Alright, so yeah, this will probably be, I guess we're on number 3. Smart guy can't talk, can't count. No, I believe me, I can. I just have bad memory. And, but yeah. So yeah, let's wrap it up here. If you did watch, feel free to leave a like. If you don't like me, feel free to leave a dislike or don't care. I don't know. Either way, this is more for documentation. But hey, you might learn something from this.